No. Oh. We're live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kelly, Olmsted County Extension Master Gardener Volunteer.
Vice Chair, and I'm Tom Bellinger.
Chair.
The chair of the Olmsted County Extension Master Gardener Volunteers.
And we're back.
We're back.
Is this episode 5?
This is episode 5.
Awesome. And I want you to please note Tom's excellent engineering skills as a retired IBM engineer. He's actually learned how to flip the camera so that we don't have a mirror image. So you will not be seeing things backwards today. You will be seeing them. Oh my gosh, is that still backwards?
Yes, no, it's perfect. I can read it.
Sweet.
Don't you remember you gave me that clipboard last time? I tried to read it and I got completely discombobulated.
So you're here. You're here at the Tom and Kelly show, ready for a morning of Tuesday morning fun. And where are we?
Kelly, we're at the Cascade Meadows Environmental Center.
And got the construction view going here.
Got the construction view.
Alter the view.
But we're going to talk, let me see. We're going to talk about plant biodiversity. Which is one of our priorities.
Yeah.
And it's a growth team.
Yeah.
But as Master Gardeners, we really focus more on the invasive species management, the removal of garlic mustard, wild parsnip, buckthorn at places like...
We have been,
but we're going to change it now.
We are changing it. We're changing it. Move. Yeah. Moving it. And we are going more into restorative landscapes and understanding how we as folks in our community in Olmsted County can change our landscapes for the better from plants that are monocultures or one large plant, for instance, on our property, to plant biodiversity, having a diversity of species that's going to foster a greater diversity in the soil habitat as well as above ground with the wildlife that we see. And here we go, down the trail. You know how to flip it back.
I'm going to try. Here we go. Dangerous. Okay.
Dangerous.
We're good.
We should cue the music, like Mission Impossible or Get Smart.
Okay. I flipped it, but okay. Well, anyway.
You got it?
No, the problem is it's going.
What is it doing?
It's reverse on this.
Oh, great. Good one. Okay, so we're just walking down the path.
We're just walking down the path in reverse image.
They don't need to know.
They don't need to know.
We've got some gray coneflower here, some rudbeckias, monardas. What is that, Tom? I know what that is. No, I don't. What is this?
What is that?
This is...
Because I see there was some prairie clover here earlier.
Lamiaceae family. I know that because why, Tom?
It's got opposite leaves, and it's also got, let's see, the stem is
square stem. Ace of the day, Tom Bellinger.
All right.
That's why he's our chair.
Getting there.
So we're just walking through. We can hear some red-winged blackbirds. And so what makes this site special is the combination of everything we have going on. And this is such a special location because everything was done right. It's because they paid attention to the soil that the building was built on. And as you can see, we've got all kinds of wetlands out here. Wetlands are hydric soils. Wetlands are soils that... What are you doing?
Now I got to go back in reverse and... Okay, here we go. No, I'm just little... What did I do now?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. We're working on it. Okay. Wait. No. Yes. There we go. Okay. I got to flip it back. Okay. Sorry about this. Okay.
It's okay. The dedicated viewers appreciate the humor. They appreciate
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're back. Okay. So,
maybe don't move the camera so
I'm not
much.
going to move the camera so much. Okay. Here we are. Just need that. Okay. There we go. All right, there we go. Yeah, we're back to reverse image. Okay.
So these are manufactured wetlands for stormwater retention during a snow event when the snow melts or during a rain event. And we talked about this with rain gardens last week. But bioretention is a little bit different. It actually holds to reduce the runoff pollution that happens, and it also fosters habitats for other animals. And a hot topic in the city the last couple of months was the goose population. So with these renewed ways of applied design mechanisms for managing our construction, our hardscaping, the growth of our city, we are going to see more animal habitats being created through the way we do our building. So what makes this site special? Let's keep walking.
Let's keep walking.
Can you walk? And
I don't know.
Walk and
Walking.
push buttons at the
Yeah,
same
I'm not
time?
chewing gum, but
Yeah.
okay.
So what makes this site special is that it was actually built on hydric soils. The soil here is really capable of holding a ton of water. It's like a sponge. So when the rain falls, it doesn't run off and go somewhere else like it does on blacktop or cement or a rooftop or a parking area. The soils actually just keep absorbing. And at any given time, usually after a rainfall, you can step in a hydric soil and it just gushes around you, right? So hydric soils are super important. And what you find out here are a lot of plants that have really, really deep roots. There are a lot of what we would refer to as prairie plants. And they are here to foster the biodiversity of the animal kingdom because we've got all kinds of different plants, birds that eat different types of seeds, critters that feed on different types of roots, critters that lay eggs on different types of leaves. So we're fostering a lot more growth than just a certain type of life. We're kind of spreading it out over the spectrum to create that diverse environment to create more wildlife habitat.
Yep. And what's so important about the roots when you have a wetland area like this that you're restoring? So
are you asking me?
I'm going to ask you because you're the expert.
The roots are important because they hold the soil structure. They're great at keeping things in place. If you look at your regular turf grass, a lot of people mow short and they water frequently, and those roots stay in the upper layer of the soil where it's moist. And we really want to force root growth down. It keeps the soil intact, and then it also adds a lot of that organic matter to the soil that really makes it rich and contains so many living organisms. A teaspoon of soil has more living organisms in it than people on our planet, believe it or not. So much life in a teaspoon of soil. Really, really incredible. So let's keep walking.
Let's keep walking here. So let's see.
Did we tell them we're at Cascade Meadow?
We're at Cascade Meadow. Yes.
Okay,
That's
good. Yeah. So this is can you get a shot of the building up here? This is a LEED certified building. The original structure is a LEED certified building, which means that it meets a lot of environmental standards for energy usage, for the use of materials, keeping materials on site and not moving them off of site when you're in the design process, and also not purchasing and pulling from things from a really long distance away. So we've got examples of permeable pavers here where water can actually penetrate the brick and then seep down into the soil. And there's more permeable pavers over here at the entrance. And then if you look up here at this awning or this entrance, it's like a little portico, it actually drains and it goes into this reservoir here and feeds into an infiltration system. The gravel here at the edge is also permeable, but it also creates an ADA compliant surface. So got a lot
of going on here.
This is ADA compliant because it's got more than a 1/4 inch depth change.
Okay.
We know this with what we have to deal with personally. So yeah, so they've got the ADA path over there, which is blacktop, but it's surrounded by rain garden on either side. So when that rain runs through, it hits the ground.
So let's get a little layout of what this place looks like. I think, let's see. All right, let's see if I got this right.
So here, take a picture of the map. Oh, what are you doing?
I got it
Spinning
right.
us around.
Yay!
Oh, there you go. I see what you're doing. Okay, so here's the map of Cascade Meadows right here. And this place is huge. It's really a beautiful location. And we're right here. We're just going to walk down a path a little bit, but we've got a lake here, meadows, we've got swamps, savannas, marshes, and all kinds of great little prairies tucked in here and there. So let's begin our walk here. We're going to go down the stairs. Can you do that?
We're going to go down the stairs, and
yes,
I'm working on it.
There's more prairie coneflower, gray cornflower.
Okay. Let's see. Now I got to reverse, and then I got to.
I like these aspen trees. I think these are aspen.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I think they're, but they got a little prairie, or a little. Yep.
Yeah,
all right. We're going down.
The genera.
You can see the area here in general, and then Kelly and I are going to go down the steps here and get into the wetlands area.
Are people swimming out there? No.
No, there's
Joking.
And I guess there's 8 kinds of wetlands.
Yeah, there's 8 kinds of wetlands.
And 7 here.
States.
And there's 7 that are developed and or restored here.
Yes, exactly.
Is pretty amazing.
And what were we talking about earlier, there used to be 21 million wetlands in Minnesota, and now we're down to 10. We're down to 10 because we keep building over them. We keep building over the wetlands and filling them in to grow food, filling them in to put in roadways, filling them in to put in houses. So how are we going to manage our planet? We keep expanding as human beings, consuming more and doing more with what we want to do, and we're on a finite planet that isn't producing more wetlands. And how do we work to preserve the nature that we have that's currently existing?
Still at this. And Kelly, I used to be on the Planning and Zoning Commission. There's a lot of things about mitigation. So in the past, they used to mitigate wetlands. So if there was a development going in, let's say in Rochester, then they would find some farmland and mitigate it. So what's the thinking now?
That's still the current thinking.
Still the current thinking. Yeah, I thought we changed things. Okay.
Yeah, let's change things. Let's change things.
All right.
Let's make it so that we don't destroy the wetlands where they are, and we actually build where it's buildable, and we go ahead and make sure that we don't mitigate to another location. We just take care of the wetlands where they are.
Do it where it's at.
Do it where it's at.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we're going to go back here, and we're going to look at the...
So one of the things that makes this building special is the geothermal that it has. It uses the body of water to keep the building cool and then also to heat it in the wintertime. Geothermal tubing is usually set below the frost line, below about 4 feet. So one of the other features that make this a LEED certified building, the original structure.
So here's their little...
A lot of interpretive education here. It's a great spot to walk around. I can't believe we've hit it with no sun. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. So finally, I know, because it's... Hopefully we're going to get some rain today.
Let's take off this way.
Let's take off. Here we go.
We're out of here.
We got some more drainage.
Oh, look at this prairie dropsy. Beautiful. It's not going to seed yet, but it's so floppy and lovely.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job. We got some coneflowers. We got a lot of wild bergamot here.
Some yarrow coming in. Oh, little butter and eggs. Some milkweed, common milkweed.
There's some willows down there. So there's some...
A lot of willows. Why are there so many willows here? There's a lawnmower guy.
Because I think, well, all the willows and some of these lilies and stuff, they like to have their feet wet.
That's the other component of wetlands. You need to have hydrophytic plants. That was a test question.
Oh gosh.
You got an A again. Good job. Good job. So hydrophytic plants like to have their feet wet. Not all the time, not completely, but hydrophytic plants, some of them like to be wet all the time. For instance, like the cypress trees in the Everglades, they just grow in water. But others need a little bit of a rest, but they can handle up to 72 hours of being completely soaked. And those are the kind of plants we would put in a rain garden to do some of our own water retention, some clean water, good water recycling on our own properties. So here's some more interpretive education.
Excellent signs here to show what's going on.
Nice breeze this morning.
Yes, finally we got a kind of a cooler morning here before the rain, but...
So this hits a couple of our priorities, Tom. We got nearby nature, we've got pollinators, we've got clean water.
And plant biodiversity today. Yay.
Yeah, not a whole lot of horticulture skills necessary out here. This is really all about letting nature do its thing. The only thing I think we could incorporate for our horticulture skills priority would be seed saving. Gosh, maybe we could do some kind of initiative to do a bunch of seed saving and get the seeds dispersed to the community so we can grow more pollinators.
Yes, Kelly, the seed library is part of our projects that we have approved for the Master Gardener program. So we work with the Rochester Public Library on that. And we also, where'd she go?
Right here. I got distracted by a plant.
Okay.
The willow is...
what kind is it?
It's a willow. It's blooming.
It's a blooming willow.
Well, no, it's not a blooming willow, but it's sending out something here that I've actually never seen this before.
It's interesting.
You see this? It's like a terminal bud of some kind. I don't know what that is. Hey, time to do some research, folks. I'm going to look this up, and then we'll post below in the comments what's going on here, because I'm not terribly familiar with this.
We have some watchers on here. I saw Susie Olson's on. I saw Gail Kinsey was on.
Hey, Susie,
Patty
if you're
Stuxa.
on, Google this. It's a terminal. It's a terminal growth at the end of this branch. This is a willow of some kind.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of scaled, fuzzy scaled. It's got to be a bloom. It's got to be a terminal bloom.
For the rest of you here, maybe you can identify this one for us.
Ooh, do people know what this one is?
Well, that flowered out already. But,
yep. Common
milkweed. Yep, which I notice everybody's starting to put in the garden. And then we have a nice little, another plant that likes its feet wet back there is the
cattails.
Cattails.
Can you see how wet it is down there, Tom?
And I'm going to try to, let me see if I can reverse again. Whoops, okay. I'm getting better at this, Kelly.
Good, awesome.
Okay, all right. Here
Practice makes permanent.
Yep.
So see how wet it is down there? So this is a storm drain, and the cattails are really great at actually filtering out chemicals. They are I think they're a rush. Aren't cattails a rush? They've got a foam filled, a fluffy filled stem. They're not hollow, or a rush is hollow. There's grasses, rushes, reeds. Oh, reeds are hollow. Reeds are hollow. Rushes are filled with that foamy stuff. Boy, I wish Greg Munson was on. He'd know exactly. Or Kirk Payne. Those guys would know.
So we're on towards, let's see, we're going to head towards the pond area, or?
Yeah, we're heading towards the pond. Look, and now see on the side here, look, we've got trees developing. So in 5 or 10 years, these are going to be grown up, and this is going to be a really nice shady glen.
Yep. Cottonwood in here.
Unless, of course, they, trim them down for management purposes. No fishing allowed here, folks. There it is. It's posted. Don't
so which way are we going, Kelly?
Left,
what do you think?
Left.
We want to go left. Okay.
Always go left. And then when you come out on the right side, you've done everything. Oh, there's some butterfly weed, Aeschylus tuberosa.
Yes, we saw a lot of that at the Smart Garden a couple weeks ago.
Less of it here, so perhaps,
not as featured as much.
Why there's less of it here?
It doesn't like to be wet. Maybe?
There you go. It's those hydric soils. Yeah, plants like certain locations. Some people can grow grass well in their yard, and others can't. Goat prairies, a feature of southeastern Minnesota, love to cook in that hot sun on a southwest-facing slope. That's where a lot of our sumac, our native sumac, grows. So plants like a particular environment.
Yep. There's obviously plants featured here that aren't as in common as what we saw at the other places. Okay, so diversity and depths here. Well, this is really interesting, but we're kind of getting into some more wildlife here than we are really horticulture, but it's tied.
That's the key with plant biodiversity right there, is it offers more food, so more energy basically, and more habitat for animals. So you're naturally going to see more habitat for animals in a more plant biodiverse landscape. That's the way it is. Yeah. Wow. Okay. A
lot of milkweed in this area. And
so see the windmill there? So they generate a little bit of power here. There's 2 of them. The other one is in that cluster through the poplars.
Okay.
Or aspen. I guess it's poplar genus, Populus familiaris. But yeah, so they generate some power here with the windmill, which is nice.
So we've got a wetland type to the left of us, I believe, and then we've got another zone, another type over here to the right. There. And I was looking for the floating island. I don't know if it's it moves.
I'm going to be able to see the floating island. That was a capstone project for one of the students at St. Mary's, wasn't it?
Yeah, and back in 2014, I think, or 2013.
Yeah, and they wanted to kind of create a habitat for microorganisms and things that would live underneath that floating island.
And I don't know, but I think they planted like 600 kinds of plants on that.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool. So one of the other components of a wetland, you brought up the mitigation piece, Tom, is you've got to have those 3 key pieces to have a wetland. You've got to have the hydric soils. You've got to have the hydrophytic plants.
Yep.
And then wetland hydrology is just its own kind of thing. It's a sponge. If you think about the sponge that you use to do your dishes or that you've got sitting by one of your sinks, it holds so much water. And then it just evaporates away or seeps into another area. And that's what wetlands do. So yeah, we could technically create them, but nature does such a better job of it. And it's just so great when we can experience something like this on its own because, well,
do you want to step
it's
over
much
here?
better done. Much better done than what we do.
And the hydrolytic soils, they attract some of the chemicals and things that we as humans are putting into the water. remove some of those or hold them and retain them, right? And then
right. Many of the plants can filter a lot of those things out. Yeah, and that you can see that in agriculture as well. The heavy metals that are left over from a lot of the fertilizers, the chemical fertilizers, you'll see phytoremediation or even mycoremediation going on. There's particular fungi that are able to kind of take care of all of the airplane fuel or fuel blooms from like areas that were used for industrial production during World War II, and you'd seep through the soil, and fungi are able to kind of pull that up, eat it up, and great way to clean up soils is with mycology or plants. Yeah.
And this restored environment here is just perfect for absorbing carbon, right?
Oh yeah, hold it.
So that's what's great about this. So
we have a water cycle here. We have there's a nitrogen cycle here, and we've got the soil.
You got the soil. You got the soil.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this cool thing right down here. What is this? Here's something else to look up.
Are we getting out of?
Yeah. Now we're into animal biodiversity, but an animal has used this mud. Do you see this? And they've built this little...
We will see it. Okay, there we are. Okay.
They've built this little thing. It's like a shelter for their entrance or exit to their home.
Yep.
I wonder what animal that is. We're going to have to look and see, or we're going to have to ask.
So
when we
it goes in
this,
the wildlife.
Let's tag Cascade Meadows, and
if we got any of those naturalists, if they want to
chime in, Greg, Kirk.
Yep, chime in on us.
The other naturalists. We saw a bunch of names of the Cascade folks here, but we didn't get a picture of them. But
yep.
Yeah, they're growing right here by these reeds, or these rushes. These are rushes or reeds, I can't remember.
Well, these look like they're hollow. These are hollow. So these would be your reeds.
These
Yep.
are reeds.
Yep.
Yeah,
Perfect.
So much to learn out here. So much to do. So how are we at time? Should we shut off?
I think we're
really bored.
Yeah,
right
I think we can continue to walk around the pond, but it's going to be pretty much the same kind of plant life around this one because it's the same zone, same type of wetland. But I think we're going to biome. Okay, biome. And so we're gonna
sign off.
We're gonna sign off here, and then we'll be thinking about what to do next week. But if you've got questions,
let's get the building in the background.
Let's get the building, and this is a wonderful place. So just like the Smart Gardens is just a wonderful community garden, this has a different kind of tone to it because it's a lot more wetland oriented. As we said,
It's a natural native landscape versus a really man-made, manicured, and ornamental landscape, which is what the Smart Garden is. But it's got natural features like the prairie. Yeah.
This is a wonderful area, and again, this is the St. Mary's University of Minnesota. This is their campus now, so they do their environmental studies in this building, and we're just appreciative that this is available here in the community. These trails are open to the public from sunrise to sunset, and the classrooms aren't open yet indoors. We checked that, but if once they're open, you might want to come by and look at their exhibits and see what they have going on. So with that, are we ready to sign off?
We're ready to sign off.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Happy day.